What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Tompa Bay and ESPN NFL 2K5. We are just 2 games away from the end of the season, and Tompa Bay is officially rolling. Nothing but yellow wins across the board. Then again, you can see we haven't played anyone that's really sniffed 500. So before we play the Carolina Panthers for the second time this season, we throw it to Chris Berman in the studio to take us through last week's session. Boomer, take it away.
I'm Chris Berman. Let's get straight to the action. In our first game this week, we had the Patriots edge their way to a narrow 3-point win. In a long-standing NFC rivalry, we had the Falcons pick up their 6th win of the year. The Redskins won this contest, but will stay at the 3rd place in the NFC East. Randy Moss had a stellar game, but all said and done, his performance wasn't enough to lift his team to a victory. Drew Bledsoe threw for 250-plus yards and helped his Bills beat the Bengals. Down in the sunny skies of Arizona, we had the Cardinals prove ineffective and lose by 21. We had an interesting free agency pickup of note here. Trey's got the lowdown for us. Trey?
Baoju will be playing his football elsewhere, though perhaps not for as much as he would have liked. 4 years, $1.8 million. This guy will also have a new address for a while as he signs a 4-year contract with the Falcons.
Cowboys, Eagles. Sheldon Brown is set up right near the midfield stripe to get this ball and takes it just in his own territory. Jets right. There are a couple defenders there, but he outruns them. Where's the defense? Touchdown, 53 yards. The Eagles win this one by the final score of 38-10. Up in Chicago, we had the Bears end up on the right side of an 11-point game. The Chargers defense held their opponents to under 100 rushing yards in their win at the Cleveland Browns Stadium. The Giants won at home, but will take to the road next week to meet the Bengals. In a long-standing NFC rivalry, we had the Buccaneers pick up their 11th win of the year. The Broncos won this contest and will now move to 2nd place in the AFC West. Jaguars, Packers. Fred Taylor is just thinking, let's get out of the shadow of our own goal line. There's a first down. What shadows? The only shadows are the defenders behind him. He could go all the way. A 98-yard run. The Jaguars go on to win this by the final score of 20-17. Lee Evans stepped it up this week and gave his team some added firepower for the win. Darrell Hill pulled down 100-plus receiving yards and helped his Titans beat the Raiders. And last but not least, we had the Colts come away victorious.
All right, Chris, thanks. Just 2 weeks to go until the playoffs arrive, and just as we do every year, we're looking at a number of interesting races as teams jockey for position. We'll start it out in the AFC. Meanwhile, over in the NFC, the playoff picture looks like this. So that's how things shape up. Still plenty of intriguing matchups upcoming as we get closer and closer to January. So that'll do it from here. Boomer, we send it back over to you.
So with just 2 weeks to go now, still plenty to be decided before January rolls around. But first, my primetime players' game balls go out to these men, each helping their team down the stretch. That'll do it, sports fans. I'm Chris Berman, and thanks so much for joining us here in the Bristol studios. We'll see you next week right here on ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.
All right, thank you, Chris, and catching back up with the Carolina Panthers. They are not having that great of the season. I believe their record was 4-10 or something similar to that. Jay Valome has had a pretty similar season to last year, 24 touchdowns to 15 interceptions, about the same yardage from him. Steven Davis, after having a 1,400-yard season last year, is getting close to that 1,000-yard mark with 9 touchdowns. Steve Smith is probably going to have his second 1,000-yard season in a row, 1,000-yard season in a row, with 11 total touchdowns, a career high mark for him. And we still have Jeff Mitchell, who has an overinflated overall for his pass blocking and his run blocking numbers. Flipping over to the other side, though, their elite pass defense, or their elite defensive line is still elite. We've got Chris Jenkins with 13 sacks so far on the season with 2 games to go. And then you look at Julius Peppers on one side of the defensive end. He's got 53 tackles and 11.5 sacks, a chance for him to get his career high mark with 2 games left to go here in the season. And then on the other side, there is Mike Rucker, who has had double digits now for 3 years in a row. So a lot of sacks between the 3 of 4 members of this defensive line for the Carolina Panthers. And then Todd Sauerbrunn continues to be one of the only elite punters in the entire league. Travis Claridge is the only injury. He's got a broken thigh. God, that must hurt. And he's out for another 5 weeks. That is the rest of the season for the Carolina Panthers. So this is a better team than their record shows, that's for sure. I'm not really sure why they can't put it together. Maybe it's Jake Delhomme. It's probably Jake Delhomme. So we'll throw it to Boomer one more time, and then we'll see you on the field.
Hey, I'm Chris Berman. Coming up on ESPN, we'll get a look at Charlie Garner in this one. Just 553 yards rushing for him a year ago, his fewest in 5 years. We'll see if he can rebound this time around. Carolina, Tampa Bay. This ought to be good.
All right, hello and welcome to a beautiful day here in Tampa Bay, Florida at Tampa Bay Stadium. Just gorgeous, clear skies. People are excited. It's sweater weather here in Florida as we get into the later times of the season, and that's the beautiful thing about playing in Florida is that when it's not raining, it's absolutely gorgeous. So Tampa Bay is up for a nice game ahead of them as the division champions. We can call that now. Tampa Bay Buccaneers come out and they face the Carolina Panthers for the second time this season. We got the win last time out as Tom Brady fires to the left side. That one's going to fall incomplete on 3rd down and 8, and it's going to be a quick punt away to the Carolina Panthers. We're trying this new thing. I've been watching a lot of other channels, and I'm probably going to start taking away some of the more short yardage situations. So if you hate it, you can always let me know in the comments. Stephen Davis getting his first carry over to the right side, breaks a tackle with his shoulder, makes a couple of guys miss, and gets tackled out of bounds. That's going to be an 11-yard gain for Stephen Davis. Give him a first down. Early Peanuts moment. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel, like the video if you haven't already. Derek Brooks having a little highlight moment there with 61 tackles and a couple of sacks. Delhomme's going to throw that one to the turf on 3rd and 7. So after that great run by Stephen Davis, another turnover via punt for the Carolina Panthers. Brady's going to lose that one. It's going to get scooped up by Jenkins. And that's a little scoop and score for the Carolina Panthers. Feeling like deja vu. I feel like we just gave up a scoop and score to another team. I believe it was, we'll check this out because there will definitely be a replay. I believe it was Julius Peppers who got in there for a sack. So he's now officially over. Oh no, it wasn't Julius Peppers. I don't know why Julius Peppers' name got highlighted there at all. He was just on the screen. So anyway, Ken Jenkins with a quick little scoop and score, and the Carolina Panthers go up early, 7-0. Thanks on the turnover, quick score. And if it feels like deja vu again, Jones has the kickoff. He's going to get past the 20-yard line, past the 25-yard line, going to make it all the way to the 26 where Tampa Bay takes over. Tom Brady dropping back, has a little bit more time, but not much. Finds Allstott on the flat, uses his shoulder to get out of the first tackle, but that's going to be a quick tackle afterwards, but move the chains. Quick look at the receiving numbers for Allstott and Galloway. Galloway's actually having a better year than we were expecting him to. We've got a low-key old offensive core of our receivers, but our youngest member of that offensive core is Michael Clayton, who makes a great move after catching that one on the flat. It's going to be an 8-yard gain, and then Allstott puts his shoulder down to make sure we get through the first down line. Bring up the chains again. Tom Brady rolling out to his right side, in trouble for some reason, slings that ball all the way back across the left side of the field. Lucky that was intercepted. That's going to bring up a second down. Charlie Garner getting for one of his first carries today, has a couple of blocks in front of him. Knight gets a nice couple of jukes, and that's going to be about a 14-yard gain in order to move the chains. It's either all or nothing with this running offense so far. On first down, Tom dropping back, trying to throw to Allstott on the screen. Allstott just can't stay on his feet. He's going to lose 3 yards on that catch. Brady looking to throw again. He's going to somehow get that one to Dan Moore. There's a chance that deflected off of the safety into his hands, but we're not going to argue. Move the chains. Tom, no one in front of him, dives out in front. That's going to bring up 1st and goal with about 2.5 minutes left to go in this quarter. 1st and goal, very next play. Tom dropping back, not a lot of time to think, and he's going to get sacked once again, this time by Buckner. Of all of the defensive linemen, Buckner is the one to break through and get the sack on that one. Charlie Gardner on the next play. He's going to shake out a one tackle, and he dives into the end zone for good measure. If there was actually collision on that play, him and Witherspoon would have just absolutely broken each other's spines. But luckily, this is a video game, and he's into the end zone cleanly for 6 points. So Charlie Gardner, after not really having a huge explosive first quarter, is able to break out a 14-yard run and then another run from about 8 yards out to get 6 points. The kick is up and good. It's going to tie this one up at 7 apiece as we near the second quarter. We kick this one off to the Panthers. It is Deshaun Foster. You might have heard of him as an incredibly I almost said rated. That's not the right word. Overqualified return artist. He's going to catch a face mask from our backup outside linebacker, Nice. And that's going to bring them all the way up to the Carolina 26. Stallone dropping back with no backfield. He's going to get sacked by Simeon Rice, and Darren Russell's going to fall right on top of that thing. So Simeon Rice, he's getting close to a career year in terms of total sacks. Can't wait to look at his total numbers at the end of the year. But you see him right here getting right through the guard of the tackle, and he's just going to make Delhomme squeeze that thing out. And Darryl Russell, the big fella, is right there to fall on top of it. And all of a sudden, Tom Brady has the ball on his own 20-yard line. He's going to find Galloway over the middle. Just under a minute to play in this first quarter. Tom dropping back again under a little bit of pressure. Throws over the middle to Michael Clayton, and that one is in the end zone for another 6. So just as quickly as they went down 7-0, Tom Brady and the Buccaneers rattle off 14 quick points. I guess I'm being presumptive that the field goal is going up again for the extra point. But Tom showing some ability to move around in the pocket, adjust to what the block gives him, and find his man in the end zone, in stride, in his route around the zone defense that the Carolina Panthers were playing. Deshaun Foster, deja vu once again, taking a kick return. This time Ryan Neese does not get him by the face mask, and the Panthers are going to start from about the 26. Steven Davis going up the middle for about 4 yards. They got nothing on second down. They're going to go 3rd and 6, throwing it to the right side, and that thing is spiked like a volleyball by Brian Kelly. That one's going to go into the turf, and as the time starts to wind all the way to 0 in the first quarter, Jones is going to take this one to the left side, gets tackled at about the 20-yard line. Not really much opportunity to accelerate there for Jones. Allstott has a block, manages to work through one, gets another block, and gets tackled just about at the 1st-yard line. It's going to be marked just short, so it's still a 10-yard gain, but it's going to be 2nd and inches when we come back from that quick TV break. Going into the second quarter, the Buccaneers are up on the Carolina Panthers by a score of 14-7. On that 2nd and inches, very next play, Tom Brady's going to throw this thing. He's rolling out slightly to his left. He finds Ken Dilger over the middle. Takes a huge hit from Witherspoon, but is able to hold onto the ball to move the chains. Was that a dramatic play for 2nd and inches? Maybe. Do I care? Not really at all. Charlie Gardner gets stopped like a stone wall right there up the middle, but it comes at a huge cost for the Carolina Panthers, already having kind of a nightmare season. Dan Morgan goes down with an apparent knee injury and will not return for the rest of the game. 3rd and 10 now. Tom Brady with a quick drop back, and this one is going to fall out of the hands of Joey Galloway. Had his man in stride once again, but this time he's not able to hold on to the football, kind of hot potatoing that thing away, and they were going to punt that one away to the Carolina Panthers. Taking over from their own 30, Delhomme drops back, hits Steven Davis in stride, but that's Brooks and Barber taking him down quickly for a gain of only 1 yard. Very next play, Steven Davis running backwards, gets out of the first tackle, misses the second tackle, but Derek Brooks is there again for the tackle for no gain. That brings up a 3rd and 9. Delhomme rolling to his right, waiting, looking, throwing, finds Steve Smith over on the left side. Incredible grab by Steve Smith. I believe that catch puts him very close to, if not over, 1,000 yards receiving for the year. Jake Delhomme throwing to the right side. That one's going to be caught by Muhsin Muhammad, but he's going to be actually tackled behind the line for a loss of 1, so bringing up a 2nd and 11. That one is also caught by Muhammad, tries to throw the stiff arm, but Victor Green is able to wrestle him down. 3rd and 4 now. Delhomme firing to the right side inside a crowd of folks. It looks like it was actually in Muhsin Muhammad's hands, but the hit from the defender is going to force him to drop that one. 2nd down now. Allstott taking the toss off of the fake handoff. He's going to go backwards 3 yards. So Allstott kind of having a tough game so far outside of that one good run. Tom trying to keep things going. His little move to the left somehow kept the pass rush away. And Michael Clayton honestly saves an interception in dangerous territory. So we're going to punt that one away. You might be wondering why Tom Brady's still playing at this point, and that just means you don't know who Tom Brady is. That man is an absolute psychopath, and he would have been playing every single game no matter what. Although, depending on how the rest of this game goes, we may be strategically sitting some folks in the final regular season game of the year. Throwing over the middle to his fullback, I believe that's Hoover, who's going to make the reception on third down. We're going to have to bring out the chain gang. Remember the chain gang? Bring back the chain gang, honestly. So they bring out the chains. They're going to mark this one just ahead of the first down marker. So a great pass, a great effort by the fullback Hoover in order to move the chains for the Carolina Panthers. This time Derek Brooks gets through. Jailbreak for Brooks. That's going to be another sack for our star outside linebacker. Bringing up the third down. Delome's rolling to his left. He's firing back to the right. That was honestly probably going to be intercepted by Brian Kelly, and he is incredibly lucky that that was just deflected by Ian Gold. Steps up for the kick. John Casey boots that one wide left. All of that effort for no points and essentially a turnover for the Carolina Panthers. So Tom Brady and co. have about a 2-minute drill to get down the field. That one's going to be caught through a very tight window for Michael Clayton on the button hook route. He has an ability to turn and burn. He gets a few yards past midfield as we head into the 2-minute warning, and Brady is sacked by Ken Jenkins. Ken Jenkins having a heck of a game. He's got a fumble recovery for a touchdown. Now tack on a sack to his list of acumen. Brady off the play action fake. That was... I think Clayton was looking at the fact that there was nobody in front of him and the cornerback was a little bit out of position, but he drops that pass, and we're going to bring up a third down and 13. McCardell tries to use the speed. I believe it's the first time we've called McCardell's number today, but we are not going to be able to convert on third down, and that would do it for the first half. We are up by a score of 14-7, but the Carolina Panthers are staying in this despite only gaining 62 yards of total offense. They have forced a turnover, and they have been able to keep us out of the end zone. Well, they've not every time, but we've scored twice technically, but they're doing a good job compared to how they could be doing, in no short part to Chris Jenkins. Chris Jenkins is having an awesome game. He has a 1 sack, he has a tackle, that is the sack, and then he has that scoop and score from that fumble recovery. Coming out of halftime, I want to take a quick look at the NFC playoff race. As you can see, we have clinched our division, but we are not in first place overall. And remember, Tom Brady, psychopath, wants to be in that number 1 seed and have that home field advantage no matter what throughout the playoffs. 3rd down and 5 after a completion on first down. Delhomme stepping up, finding Steve Smith over the middle despite the big man dropping back in coverage. That's going to move the chains up to about the 37-yard line in Buccaneers territory. That one's going to be caught by the tight end Magnum. Great catch on the seam up the middle. That's going to move the chain. Stephen Davis has a couple of blocks, gets about 7 yards before Darryl Smith is able to tackle him, and that is going to bring Stephen Davis over 1,000 yards. With a game and a half about to go, he crosses over 1,000-yard mark, and I guess he didn't want to stay there. He runs backwards. He loses like 6 yards, and now it's 3rd and 9. Don't really know what happened there. I think he could have hit that block in a different way, and he could have been absolutely gone. Delhomme, though, finds Steve Smith, has it in his hands, drops it in the bucket outside of the outstretched arms of the safety Victor Green, and Steve Smith is in the end zone for 6, and all of a sudden, we've got a tie ball game again. You can see here on the rollout, Delhomme throwing over the top. You can see that the timing from Victor Green just wasn't quite there, and Ivy can't keep up with the speed of Steve Smith, and him in those teal shoes get into the end zone, and now Steve Smith is up over 1,000 yards receiving for the year. So both of the key players, the key skill positions for this Carolina Panthers offense are now up over 1,000 yards for the year, and we need to get back on the scoring as Jones takes the ball out of the end zone. He's going to basically get it back to the 20, but I guess 20 yards of stats is better than just kneeling it down and taking the boring stuff. And Gardner is around the corner with a little bit of room. He makes a guy miss with the juke, but Minter is basically able to save a touchdown. But that's one of the best runs from Charlie Gardner today, getting just about 20 yards over on the right side sweep. Brady lobbing one to the left side. That's McKeenan McCardell making a great catch, staying in bounds, holding on to that thing, shimmy shake that thing out That's going to move it all the way into Carolina territory. 3rd and 6 now. Brady throwing on the hook route, and Clayton is not able to hold on to that one. That's going to bring us to a 4th and 6. It is in Martin Grammatica's range. He's going to hit that one from 48 yards. The kick is up. The kick is good. And just as quickly, 2 minutes and 23 seconds later, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers take the lead by a score of 17-14. Bad pursuit by me on that one. Deshaun Foster bounces to the outside. Good tackle by Will Allen to save anything worse than that happening. The Carolina Panthers start on the 27. That's a good pass to Muhsin Muhammad, who reaches back and down and grabs it. That's going to move the chains up to about the 39-yard line. Stephen Davis taking it off of the draw, makes Derek Brooks miss. That's hard to do. Makes Victor Green miss. That's not as hard to do. And all of a sudden, he's off to the races. Ian Gold, the last line of defense, chasing Stephen Davis down, knocking him out of the bounds at the 23-yard line of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So almost a red zone opportunity. That's a quick pitch and catch to Steve Smith over the middle. Sheldon Quarles getting in there on the stop. Brings us to a 3rd and 4. A big 3rd down, and Jake Delhomme immediately blows it. He lobs it up over the middle to basically, I don't even know who he was throwing that to. I could not tell you. Maybe to Muhammad? I guess he was throwing, oh no, he was throwing it to Steve Smith. But it was straight up it went straight to Rondé Barber. Rondé Barber with the interception. Tampa Bay takes over with just under 2 minutes left to play, and Mike Allstott with one of the best runs of his day gets straight through the blocks for a 7-yard gain. Very next play, Gardner with a block, hits the Jets, hits a juke, gets across the line. That's going to be a 1st down. 40 seconds to go, probably going to be the last play of the 3rd quarter. He's getting to the outside again, and Charlie Gardner gets tackled. It's going to go for 10 yards. We're going to mark it just below the 1st down line, but we head into the 4th quarter up by a score of 17-14. Tampa Bay taking back over in that 2nd and inches. Mike Allstott, if there's any player who's probably going to get you the yards if you're in a 4th and short or not a 4th and short, if you're in an any and short situation, it's going to be big Mike Allstott. Gardner had a block in front of him, but didn't really get it to his best advantage. He still manages 4 yards out of it. As you can see, Charlie Gardner, 8 rushes, 68 yards, 8.5 yards per carry, and 1 touchdown. He has been balling since he came back from that injury. Tom Brady on the play fake, going to find Dilger over the middle. That's going to be complete. It's going to go for a couple of yards, but we have another injury on the field, and Julius Peppers gets carted off. What awful injury luck. The Carolina Panthers have lost, honestly, 2 anchors of their defense between Dan Morgan and Julius Peppers, as Charlie Gardner is able to make the 1st down conversion. 3rd and 10 now. Brady's having to throw, finding Charles Lee for the first time today. That's going to be a chain mover. We go back to 3rd and 10 again. I guess we're not running it very well on the first couple of downs. Brady with time, throwing, stepping up, and missing his man, even though he was wide open. A rare bad throw from Tom Brady. Martin Gramatica, he's going to stick it from 51 yards. Heck of a field goal from Martin Gramatica, one of the longest field goals that not only I've hit in this series, that I've just hit since I've started playing on this YouTube channel in general. So a great kick there by Martin Gramatica. Carolina taking over from their own 25. Delhomme dropping back and passing. Muhammad making an incredible catch as he falls to the turf. That's a chain mover. Stephen Davis going to break out of the first tackle, but Derek Brooks is there to clean up. That brings up a 3rd and 6 after 2nd down goes nowhere, and that one is going to get popped out of Stephen Davis's hands on the attempted reception, and the Carolina Panthers would elect to punt away. So Gardner continuing to use his biggest advantage, which is his speed, running away from defenders to the outsides, getting it into a 2nd and 2. But Allstott's going to lose 2 on that one by that great tackle by Travaris Tillman. That's going to bring up a 3rd and 4. Once again, the blocks are lining up, but not the last block that we needed in order to get across the 1st down line. So that's a 4th and 1. We're going to punt it away. We're now inside of the 2-minute warning, and this game is technically not over as the Carolina Panthers move the chains with a nice throw to Muhsin Muhammad. Stephen Davis off the draw, getting about 9 yards on 2nd down. Very next play, as you can see, Stephen Davis, 11 for 78. That's a pretty good day so far. He's going to get stuffed at the line. A great play by the Buccaneers defense. A huge play, the biggest play of the game. We send a blitz, and we get the sack. Who else but Simeon Rice coming through, getting the sack, bringing up a 4th and 4. It do or die right here. Kenny Holmes was almost in there with the sack himself, but Delhomme gets the ball off and completes that one to Ricky Prohl. He has been silent this whole game until right now. It's going to move the chains. We're about at the 40-yard line. Delhomme almost just threw the game away. Truly just almost threw the game away. Just threw that ball directly to a Tampa Bay defender. 2nd and 10. Delhomme, quick drop back. Looking around. Almost gets sacked again. Almost gets picked again. I think I'm starting to understand why the Panthers are 4 and 10. Delhomme's going to roll out to the right this time, throwing it over the middle. That one's going to be complete for Steve Smith, but it's not a first down. It's now 4th and 4. Of course, this is 4-down territory at this point, but if you're going to throw it, look at how many red jerseys are over there. Why would you make that throw? It's going to be a turnover on downs, and it's going to be Buccaneers ball game, pretty much. We're able to kneel it out from there. You can see Brian Greasy doing his kneel out thing. Great job, Brian. And the Buccaneers take home another victory, 12-3 so far on the season with one game to go against another, honestly, kind of sorry team. So there is a good chance that we are going 13-3 to finish our first season with the Tompa Bay Buccaneers. And, we didn't play our best today, especially offensively. It seems like we kind of struggled in general. Both teams struggled to get over 250 total yards. We had 132 through the air, 119 on the ground. They had 175 in the air and 78 on the ground. And speaking of on the ground, Charlie Gardner easily takes home our player of the game. He was absolutely magical today. He had 11 attempts, 82 yards, and 1 touchdown. So great job by Charlie Gardner. Great job by the rest of the rush offense in general. Technically we had only 30 other rushing yards past Charlie Gardner, but it is good to have him back after he spent so much time on the injury report. It's great to have this team back at full strength and ready to go for the playoffs. So we've got Tom Brady, 13 for 27, only a 74.9 passer rating today, but he was better than Jake Delhomme. He had 132 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. Delhomme was 1-1 with 175. You can see here we outran Steven Davis, 11 attempts for 82 yards. Mike Allstott also had a bunch of carries as well, but Charlie Gardner was the one man to make it into the end zone for this one. Steve Smith, Musa Muhammad, 2 best receivers of the day. Keenan McCardell and Michael Clayton were behind him, and it was Michael Clayton who had the 1 touchdown score through the air for the Buccaneers. Derek Brooks led the way with tackles. Darryl Smith comes through with the most assists on the day. Total sacks, we had Simeon Rice getting 2 of those things, and I'm pretty sure he computed one of those, so that's always pretty nice to see. Brian Kelly and Ian Gold both with 3 passes defended apiece, and Rondé Barber with that interception close to the end of the game to really help wrap things up. And then just the shout out to the forced fumbles and the fumble recoveries that went for a score. So we got the 4-11 Arizona Cardinals coming up as our last game in season 1, and after that we'll be jumping right into playoff time. So we're 3rd in the power rankings. We're 12-3 overall. That means there are a couple of teams that have better records than us technically, so we might have some battles to still have here in the playoffs. So if you've made it this far, make sure that you like the video. That helps new people find me in that YouTube algorithm. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, make sure you do so. I'm trying to get to 500 subscribers as soon as I can, and you could be one of those. So thanks as always, especially if you made it this far in general. This is Peanuts 24/7. We'll see you on the next one.